So hi guys, this is Alchin Heredia again from BSN1 Section A9 Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So for today's video is I'm going to do an interview of one of my friend which is a doctor which he joined also as an athlete and also an exercise enthusiast. He is a Doc Dave from Perpetual Succor Hospital. So about this interview, since it's pandemic and I can't go to the city, I'll just do it through chatting, through virtual, since I can't also show his face in public because she is a private person. So what are we waiting for? Let's interview him and what is his sport. Let's do this. So the first thing I ask to him is, of course, we greet first before we start the interview. So I asked him how was his day, and he said, "Fine po." And he asked me as well, "Yours?" And his question was, "How was my day as well?" So I'll answer, "Well, not so fine because it was raining so hard." And my next question was, I asked him if how old is he, or should I say, "May I know your age too, please?" And he said, "That's good to hear. Is the age necessary?" So he answered, he is 45 years old. And I answered him, "It's not really necessary, but thank you for your answer. Anyways, Doc, what do you call with your sports? Or I mean, what are your sports?" And he answered, "I played a lot sports before, but now I'm into cycling, specifically mountain biking." And I said, "Wow, for sure that's a good sports, Doc." And he said, "It is." And my next question would be, how did you prepare your body prior to engaging in any sport activity? And he said, "Well, I just do proper breakfast and lots of water for hydration, stretching exercises for at least 5 minutes." He said also, "I focus more on my upper body. Warm up is done on the road. 10 to 15 minutes of light pedaling combined with high intensity pedaling for 5 to 20 seconds." And I said, "Thank you, Doc. Have you?" And my next question would be, "Have you had injuries?" Which is injuries not inflicted by others, just by yourself, while preparing yourself for a sporting activity or during the activity itself? And I said also, "Kindly describe the mechanism by which the injury was incurred." And he answered, "Welcome. I've had plenty of injuries in all the sports I've participated. For mountain biking, most injuries I got were from crashes. Like for example, his bike crashes into the same bike as well, or crashes into the big stones or cars, something like that. Proper sports equipment is a must in this kind of sport, especially the helmet and padding. Proper preparation and warm up is also a must to prevent cramps." And he added also, "I had my wrist injured landing on my hand. Thankfully, I had thick gloves, so Doc Dave is prepared always. Leg cramps because of improper preparation during a ride, inadequate warm-up, inadequate fluid, and electrolyte replacements as well." And my next question would be, can we attribute these injuries as an environmental factors, or to what factors would you attribute these injuries, and why these factors participated the injuries? And he answered, Injuries were mostly environmental and improper preparation, like warm-ups, lacking of practice, improper diet, and hydration. Environmental, he added as well. Environmental, because mountain biking is dependent on the type of safety equipments, type of mountain bike, and most especially the terrain that we are riding on. And also, I said to, that was the last question I asked to him. So I said, thank you so much, Doc, for giving me time to interview you. Have a good night, because that was a good night. And he said, welcome, my pleasure, and good night as well. So this time, Doc Dave is an exercise enthusiast. So I asked him right away, since I do it after I did interview him as an athlete. So I asked him, can I ask Doc if what sports are you used as an exercise enthusiast? And he said, let's see, running and football or soccer. And I said, wow, when did you start doing all that, Doc? And he said, running was around 2010 and football was early 2000. So it's been a year, 2010 running was, I guess, 11 years. And way back 11 years. And then football was 21 years. And that was way back then. And I said, wow. And how did you prepare your body prior to engaging in any sporting activity? And kindly include how long was the preparation. And he said, proper practice for marathons, at least 7 months of running 2 to 3 times a week. Wow, that was so tiring. And I said, thank you, Doc. Have you had also injuries, Doc, while preparing yourself for a sporting activity or during the activity itself? And the same, describe its mechanism by which the injury was incurred. And he said, I had my ankle broken during practice runs and muscle tears as well during marathon runs. The injuries occurred because of improper form and stride. So you need a proper form and stride. So my next question to him was, to what factors would you attribute these injuries and why these injuries precipitated the injury? And why these factors, but I made it wrong. And he said improper preparation and practice. And I also asked him, can we still consider it as environmental factors, Doc? And he said, yes, most of my injuries is environmental factors. It was very hot, especially like right now, with no proper fluid replacements. So that's all, and I said, thank you again, Doc, and have a good night again. And he said, welcome again. So that's all I did for him as I interviewed him. So that's all, guys. That's all the answer of how did Doc Dave as an athlete and how as he is an exercise enthusiast. So that's all for today, and bye.